Hi everyone, this is your new music and chat show coming to you on Celsi Radio. I'm your host Dennis Cowan and this is Pick and Mix. Which is a Christmas special, we have in the chat seat Carl Bradford, an accomplished young violinist. On the music front we have a track from Tetra Nova called Fact or Fiction and Tearaway's rendition of Roseanne. Is a brand new show for Celsi and the South Coast. We shall be coming to you once a month starting in January 2015. We will have topics to tease and music from the sessions. We will have guests in the studio whenever that's possible. We hope to have some local music if we can discover where it is and maybe get them here in the studio to chat about what they're doing. So you guys who are doing things in this area, get in touch. But in the absence of it, we do have music from the sessions, varied and quirky, some to cover all tastes. This is the Christmas show, so let us be jolly, as they say, and get started. And the first thing we do is run in with Tetra Nova and Fact or Fiction.
Fact or fiction? Fact or fiction? Did it really happen? Fact or fiction? Was it really true? century. Little did he know, and time has not forgot. He discovered central heating when modern times are hot. So many centuries have passed, from dinosaur to man. Evolution changed us, gave us better life. Fact or fiction? But in these modern days, when no one has a plan, all we do is dream about better things to come, better things to come. People search in history, in future, present, past, never finding satisfaction. Things happen so fast. Things happen so fast. You're sincere, had a good time. See you in class. Fact or fiction? Fact or fiction? Fact or fiction? Fact or fiction?
Today we have violinist Carl Bradford in the studio, and we are taking a peek into what it takes to realise his ambition to be successful in music. And what we're talking about here is classical music, as opposed to pop music, which has no real limits on it. Classic music has. Where did it all start for you, and at what age?
Well, I remember when I was in primary school, so I was 7 years old, year 2 I think that was, a violinist came into our school assembly and put on a bit of a workshop, played a little bit for the whole school, and I just remember hearing it and thinking, I just really want to play that. A lot of people would play sort of drums, guitar and things like that, and I wanted to play something a bit different, something not so common, so yeah, I remember just taking the letter home, showing my parents and sort of asking them to play, and they let me have lessons.
Yeah. Did you find the lessons hard going?
To start with, yeah, because they were group lessons, so there were 3 or 4 of us in one group, so it was quite difficult because we all started learning the same pieces, and then we'd all progress at different levels. So yeah, it was nice. We kind of learn off each other, but sometimes it's quite nice to have work. Sometimes better to have a private lesson on your own rather than with other people.
But was there any time you sort of, when I picked up the violin, this is bloody hard work?
Yeah, oh yeah, lots of times. It's in the early levels of when you're learning, you have to get through the stage of playing really out of tune, annoying your family, friends, telling you to, be quiet, because it can get quite.
You mean when it
hard to
screeches
listen
and
to. Yeah, it
sounds like the
screeches a
cat
lot.
being killed?
Yeah, I think everyone goes through a stage of nearly giving up because it sometimes can sound really awful, and you just have to stick with it and keep going. And yeah, I just kept going.
So when does it come through? That one day you say to yourself, I'm actually playing something quite reasonable here.
Yeah, I think when you start, you start with very basic pieces, obviously, and then you start to develop your technique, your musicality, and you can start to put together a piece that sounds pretty good, and that just gives you the confidence to want to move on to more advanced things that sound even nicer, and then you start to think about what you want to do with your life. And I knew I've always loved music, and I wanted music to be in my life all the time, so violin was sort of my choice for that.
Yeah, but a lot of people look at classical music and think, oh my God, this is far too hard. All these dots, etc., to learn, all these restrictions
Yeah.
on it. Why not take up harmonica or something
Well,
simple?
yeah, I think that a lot of people are put off with the reading music aspect, and because it can get very complicated, and I always struggled with that at an early level. Sight reading was always a problem. I learnt by ear mostly, so when it came to reading music, that was tricky for me. But I had some quite intense lessons on that to really help me when I was younger, and that sort of set me off okay. So once I could read the music, I was much more confident. But then I did start to lose my playing by ear a little bit, which I've always liked to have. So it's getting a balance of reading the music and also listening and playing by ear as well.
What about practices though? Did you sort of like do an hour or something?
When I very first started, I probably did, I don't know, 20 minutes a day or something like that. And I went through phases. I was really bad with my practice. Then when I knew I was taking it more seriously, I'd do a lot more. I mean, when I was at music college for the past 4 years, you do between 4 and 5 hours a day. Obviously depends how much other things you've got on. You might have orchestral projects and chamber music all can be there as well, so it's quite tricky to have your own time to practice on your own solo things. But
what are we talking about, sort of like the theory versus the
you have your lectures where you work on theory things and you don't really have time to play, but it all links in. And then you might have a chamber rehearsal where you're working with a string quartet or something for a few hours, and then you might have an orchestral rehearsal which could be on all day. Obviously it really helps your general musicianship, doing all different.
What about the frustrations that come?
It can get very stressful when you have assessments and things.
When it seems to not go your way.
Oh yeah, obviously when you have assessments and things coming up, they seem to be sort of get the pressure on, and you've got orchestra, you've got chamber music, and you just feel you don't have time to practice enough, and you never feel like you're playing as well as you should be, because you can't seem to focus. You don't have enough time to focus on one specific thing at a time. But then I think you just have to realise that in the end it all links in with each other, and you're never going to have time to just work on one thing.
We now go for Tearaway and Roseanne.
It's like a perfect rainbow. You're always out of reach. Your colors
back we go. Here we have Carl Bradford in the studio, and the next thing we're going to ask him is, where did it all start for you and what age?
Well, it started, I mean, as I said, when in a school assembly.
So we want you about
So I was
12,
seven years,
seven?
Yeah, 7 years old. I started when I was 7. Yeah, and it was just a really great workshop that was put on by someone who came into the school, played to us, and absolutely loved it. Knew that that's what I wanted to do.
What were you listening to then, classical or pop music?
Oh, when I was 7, it would have been pop, probably. Yeah.
So it's
pop
kind
music.
of amazing that you choose the most hardest, being a
it's-
violin.
I don't really know why I chose it, but I know that my parents have always told me I came home really excited, really wanted to learn the violin out of everything, and I've stuck with it since. And I've obviously, I'm glad I chose it.
Well, the carrying case is good. At least you don't carry an amp around.
Yeah, that's true. Could be a
Yeah.
lot worse, couldn't it?
What's your favourite music, Carl?
I'm really into sort of classic rock. So not too heavy rock. There's a band called Keane who I'm particularly into. Really good. So piano rock. Anything with a piano, but that's also got a good sort of rocky feel to it. I like. I quite like chart music as well sometimes, although these days it just doesn't seem to be as good as it used to be. Obviously classical.
What about jazz?
Jazz, yeah, I'm really into jazz, like relaxing, just in the evenings.
I mean,
just
you've got
nice to
Stefan
sort of-
Grappelli as one of the big...
Yeah. It's just really nice to listen to, just unwind.
And even my
fun,
mate Nigel Kennedy,
Oh yeah, well he's just great.
who can do anything,
Yeah.
as we both know. Now, you're doing an album called Second Wind.
Yep.
Doing rock, and yes, folks, it is with me.
Yes.
Yes, he says so, yes. So you'll be able to hear him doing that. But we'll get on to, besides your favourite violinist, I haven't actually asked you, so who would that be?
Well, very tricky question. I mean, I suppose for me it depends on the piece of music being played. For something really romantic and big, rich sound on the violin, someone like Vadim Repin, I'm really keen on his playing. But for more when we go think back to Bach and composers like that, I quite like Hilary Hahn. She has a very pure sound and very clean and rings really nicely. And yeah, but it depends what sort of piece it is, I suppose.
Because for myself,
Mm.
if I'm thinking about classical music, Mozart
Oh yeah,
is my ideal.
Mozart's great to play. I really enjoy playing Mozart.
I mean, apart from Mehudi Menuhin,
Yeah. I mean,
you would say his words, right, he plays a beautiful violin.
yeah, amazing. And he was just amazing because his posture and awareness of how to do everything with the violin was so natural and effortless, and I really aspire to that because he made it just look so easy. And he knew exactly all the movements, and it was also free and natural. So
Yeah, because some
Really
of the best are supposed to have been trained by him. I think even Nigel Kennedy, wasn't he? Yeah, Nigel
Possibly,
Kennedy at the
yeah.
school.
oh yeah, you went to
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you meet any young players from this area in the Sussex area?
Well, thinking back to because I went to Lewis sixth form, so in Lewis there were some really great musicians I met there, some other violinists. I had a really good teacher at Lewis as well who helped me a lot, and we had some good chamber music coaching there as well. So yeah, especially in Lewis, there's quite a lot of young musicians who are really good to play with. And
I mean, one of the
seriously.
things you have to have
Mm,
is commitment.
definitely.
And do you see lots of that with sort of like teenagers, apart from their iPhones?
I've just at Trinity last year we did a teaching module, and it talked about people learning instruments and the most likely time to sort of drop out, and I think it was around about year 7 or 8, children tend to drop out of their music lessons because either they don't feel it's cool enough, or they just can't keep the momentum going. They're not sort of physically wanting to carry on.
Well, they think
get
it's easy.
distracted.
Do they? Some of them think it's easy.
Maybe they might even find it too hard, or they might just want to do sport or choose other things to do, and they might think music's just not really sort of good. They might not want to do it anymore for some
Because in the
whatever
rock world, guitars, etc., and keyboards, they all have a tendency to think it's sort of, I'll learn it yesterday and I can play the whole thing tomorrow.
Yeah, they lose their patience as well. They think they can do it. They realise they can't, so they give up.
Well, thank you, Carl, for that chat, and that was good, and we're going to say goodbye now and see you next month in January. Off we go. Goodbye. Thanks for listening to this first show of Pick and Mix. Goodbye.